everybody doing? My name is Lindsay and I'm with Perfectly Pastry. If you don't know who Perfectly Pastry is, we own bakery in St. Louis and Southeast Missouri region. I usually say online bakery, but we are not doing any online sales currently through COVID. So that's why I had to stop myself what, girl, what you talking about? If you guys watch me live, drop me a heart. Let me know, hey, I'm watching you live. If you watch me on a replay, use hashtag replay. And if this is your first time to ever watch me, use the number 1. Let me know, hey, this is the first time that I am catching you. So last week we talked about Instagram and I gave you guys a little bit of tips about what we do with Instagram and kind of how to use it for your business. And so last week I said we would talk about some of the other social media platforms. And so today we are going to talk about Pinterest. But before we do that, I just wanted to let you guys know what is on the menu for Express Baker Bundles this week. We have lemon muffins. We have chocolate chip cookies. We have keto cranberry orange muffins. We have keto ooey gooey. And then we have blackberry lime scones. Our raspberry lemon scones go over amazing. And so we decided we're gonna roll out some blackberry lime scones for all of you guys. Now, if you guys are watching us live or following us on Facebook and you're not following us on Instagram, I want to invite you to follow us on Instagram. If you haven't been watching my lives lately, I will let you in on a little secret. We are doing what is referred to, I actually heard this term on a podcast this week and I was like, I love that term, I'm gonna use it. It's called leveraging healthy competition. Yes, so we are leveraging healthy competition for growing our Instagram. And you're probably thinking what does that mean? What do you mean? What are you doing? My sister and I are super competitive. And so we are competing this month to see who can grow Instagram the most. So I had Instagram last month. She's working Instagram this month. And her goal is to beat me. And currently she has, I don't even know what day it is, but she doesn't have that much longer until the end of the month. And I'm still winning. So she would love it if you guys would hop on there and follow us so that she could beat her big sister. Because let's be real, the oldest always is the best, right? We know. So yes, if you're following us on Facebook, definitely hop on Instagram, follow us, give my sister some love. Let's see if we can help her beat me this month. All right, so enough with Instagram because today we are going to talk about Pinterest. Now, I love Instagram. I hated Instagram, but I love Instagram now. But my favorite is Pinterest. I can get lost on Pinterest for days. I love looking up ideas, and anytime I have a question about something, I go to Pinterest and I see what other parents are talking about and what other people are talking about, what other business owners are talking about. You can find almost anything on Pinterest. I don't know if you know this, but Pinterest is not like other social media platforms in the sense that it's more of a search engine like Google. There are social media aspects to it, but it's definitely more of a search and discover platform. And so you have to look at it a little bit differently than you look at Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. One of those being when you decide to do Pinterest for your business, you need to learn patience. We are all instant gratification kind of people, and that is why most of us turn to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, because we can instantly see when we post, we get responses and people take action on our post immediately, and we can see those results on the back end. You don't see that with Pinterest. Pinterest can take 6 to 9 months to really see your numbers start growing and see people clicking over to your website and things like that. So Pinterest is definitely what my favorite Pinterest podcast refers to as a slow burn. If you're looking to really get into Pinterest marketing and know more about that, we highly suggest the Simple Pin podcast. It is a great resource for Pinterest marketing for all kinds of different companies. They go over all kinds of different ways to use Pinterest. So I absolutely love it. But Pinterest is a slow burn. So it can take 6 to 9 months for you to really start seeing a difference. So keep that in mind. Like I said, Pinterest is a search and discover. It is a place to go for planning. So I like to think of Pinterest kind of like a scrapbook or a vision board. So back in the day when magazines were more popular, you would cut out a picture of I remember doing a project in school where we had to like plan our wedding, and we had to go and cut out pictures in magazines of like what our ring was going to look like, what our dress was going to look like, what our bridesmaids dresses. Obviously it was a home ec class, so we had to like plan out our wedding. We had to cut out pictures and stuff like that. So that is what Pinterest is, but on a digital aspect. So it's a way for us to plan, to find out information. It's not always like we're going on there to immediately take action. It's more of searching, discovering, planning, and giving it time before you implement. So you're like creating that scrapbook before you actually do anything with it. So that's what Pinterest is. And that is why it can take a while. Somebody could pin your pin and then not be ready. So like for a bakery, they could pin your pin, but not quite be ready to take action on ordering their cake. They're just planning their wedding right now. Or if you take photography, those sorts of things, like they may start getting ideas of what they want it to look like, and then they might start looking about businesses in their area or like places to take pictures in the area, things like that. So they're gathering information. So do remember that. That is great to know, because when you're creating your boards on Pinterest, your boards are going to be a way for you to help your audience curate their ideas. Okay, so obviously I'm going to gear it more towards the bakery because that's what we use it for. And the simplest way to explain it is if you do wedding cakes. Okay, so if you do wedding cakes, you might have a board that is like the best places to have a wedding for us, St. Louis, Missouri. Okay, and on that board, you're gonna just pin pins of venues for pictures and for weddings and for receptions and stuff like that. And then you might have like growing wedding trends for cakes, and you're gonna have pins there, and you're gonna have pins to your own website, but maybe pins to other ideas from just out there in the world, and different trends that are going on. And so you might do florist in St. Louis, Missouri, and start gathering ideas for florists. So what you're doing is you're curating boards to help your ideal audience stay with you. They see your name and they say, this girl has great ideas. Look at all these places she found me in St. Louis. Look at all of these flower places she found me. Look at all these arrangements she's helping me create. So like you're helping them take the time to do that wedding planning. So you want to kind of think about your boards as other touch points that your audience is looking for, so that they can stay within your pins and start clicking your pins, because they're going to see your pins amongst these other pins. So definitely think about that when you're creating your boards. Your boards are there to help you curate information for your ideal audience. Okay. So those are just 3 main things about Pinterest. So you need patience. You need to remember that it's a search and discover tool, that they're creating ideas, and then you need to be there to help them create those ideas. That's what you're there for. Okay. So that's really how you're going to use Pinterest. Now there are 2 more things I want to talk about when you're doing Pinterest. And that is Canva. If you've never used Canva, I highly suggest you use Canva. Canva is a great way to create photos. It's kind of like a Photoshop for dummies, for lack of better words. Super basic, super simple to use. You have to have no graphic design experience whatsoever to be able to use it. How do I know that? Because I have no graphic design experience whatsoever, and I use it all the time. So the great thing is you can go in and hit like Pinterest pin, okay? And it's gonna give you the exact dimensions that you need for your pin, because Pinterest likes images to be long, okay? They're vertical images, and you need to stay within their guidelines. And so they'll give you the templates. And speaking of templates, they have done for you pins that they have the design, and then you just like plug in your pictures and type in your words. And so they help you get ideas on what you need to be doing to create those pins. So Canva is great. I use it for all my social media because I can just click on there and get the dimensions I need, and I'm not trying to figure out like what anybody is talking about. And then I can put my pictures in. And they just started beta testing like an animation, video pins and animation. And so I really love it because I have a whole bunch of pins that I've created, and like Instagram graphics and Facebook graphics and stuff. And I just kind of went in and added some animations to these guys. And now they're like little clip videos, and I've been uploading them. And like, seriously, I told you guys Pinterest takes a while, but people are continuously clicking and going to my website from those like animation pins. So like, it has been really great. But it's so easy for me to create. Like I literally click a button and it's like fade in. And I'm like, sure, that looks pretty. Let's do that. And then I download it and I upload it to my next tip, Tailwind. Okay, so Pinterest has its own scheduling tool. It's kind of clunky, it's kind of hard to navigate, but it's there if you want it. You can actually design in Pinterest and you can schedule in Pinterest. It's not visually, like I can't visually place where everything is. I'm not a visualizer, so I can't, if you don't tell me where it is and where it's supposed to go, like I just cannot follow. And so when I go in there and I'm trying to figure out where everything is scheduled at, it's not nicely like placed for me. So then I'm like trying to be like, wait, when is this posting? Where is it posting? How is it posting? I don't really like it. So we don't use the Pinterest scheduler. It is there if you want to use it. We actually use what's called Tailwind. Pinterest is very, very picky on who is allowed to post on their platform. And so Tailwind and Pinterest, Tailwind is approved to post to Pinterest, okay? It's like one of the only third-party platforms out there that is allowed to post to Pinterest, and that's because they are very close in connection with Pinterest, and they're constantly monitoring and make sure that they're meeting all of Pinterest guidelines so that your account doesn't get shut down, because Pinterest will shut your account down for not following their best practices. So Tailwind's great for that. So the newest thing about Pinterest is it wants new pins, fresh content pins. And fresh content pins is literally like I could change the color background on a pin, or I could change the text on a pin, or I could change the color of the text on the pin, and that is considered a new image, a new pin, fresh content. So what I do is I create them and then I just upload them to Tailwind. I no longer upload them directly to Pinterest. I just put them onto Tailwind. On Tailwind, I can schedule it to post that, like I post mine 9 days apart. So I can set it to post the image 9 days apart. I can choose what boards I wanted to set to. I can hit schedule and then it puts it in there and I don't have to do anything about it. I love that. It's great. I love Tailwind. I literally sit down, I do a bunch of pins, I upload them to Tailwind, and I walk away from Pinterest for the week or 2 weeks or whatever the case may be. So I absolutely love Tailwind. If you've ever tried to manually pin and then remember a system to try to then pin that pin to a new board and then wait your days to pin it to a new board, it's just chaos. Like you really have better things to do with your time than that. So I highly suggest Tailwind. The great thing about Tailwind is they have these amazing Canva templates for pins. Yes, I just recently discovered them. I dropped a link in the description for a trial for Tailwind. It is an affiliate link, so if you click on it, we could earn a commission off that. I just want to let everybody know that. But also Canva is in there. If you've never visited, you can click there and go there. But these Pinterest templates are in there too, and I'm telling you, they're amazing. It's like 10 images and you just like remove the Tailwind overlay and then you just like drop your pictures in, and seriously, at 10 at a time, and they release them monthly. I can do so much with that, with just like dragging and dropping text and pictures, and I don't have to go and try to find ideas. I don't have to scroll through a bunch of stuff. Like I have guaranteed pins that are gonna work, and I just plug and drop. And then I now can add animation to all of these. I'm telling you guys, the best thing ever. So if you're really wanting to do Pinterest, I highly suggest Tailwind so you're not driving yourself crazy, and Canva so that you can actually make pretty pins to post to Pinterest. So let's just kind of recap what we went over. Be patient with Pinterest. Pinterest is amazing. It's a great way to get you out there, to get people to your website, but it takes some time to grow. Okay, so remember that. It is a search and discovery platform. People are on there to search and discover information, which means they don't move very fast, which means you need to be there to help curate that information. Canva is free. There is a paid version of Canva. We don't use the paid version. We use the free version, but if you want the paid version, it comes with a lot more features that we just don't need right at this moment. But yes, Canva is free. Tailwind, the trial, the trial is weird. It's not actually a 30-day trial. It's like you get so many pins for free and kind of see how you like it, and then you can sign up for it. It is a monthly fee, but it is a free trial. That's how I got hooked. I was like, oh my gosh, this saved me so much time. And Canva is amazing, and it's absolutely free, but you can use an upgraded version of it if you want. So again, create the boards to help curate the information for your audience, and then use Canva so that your pins are pretty, because people don't like click on ugly pins, so just keep that in mind. And if you're not a graphic designer, like I'm not, you'll need some assistance. Canva's there for you. And unlike some of the other guys, Canva doesn't require you to have that watermark. I have like done things like in WordSwag and stuff, and you have that stupid watermark and you're like trying to crop it out and stuff like that. You don't have to do that with Canva. There are images in there that you can use. There are templates that do have paid features on them, and so you will have a watermark if you choose one of those. But if you just don't use any of them that have to be paid for and you just use the free stuff, it's completely free and we use it all day long. I absolutely love it. So keep that in mind though. But so use Canva for creating it, and then like I said, Tailwind so you can save your sanity. So that is kind of Pinterest in a nutshell. We absolutely love Pinterest. If you are really looking to grow more about Pinterest, because obviously that was just really brief and quick, go to Simple Pin Podcast, listen to them. They have amazing information. They talk about like if you have Etsy stores and how to use Pinterest for Etsy stores. They talk about how to use it for local businesses like us. They talk about how to use it as bloggers. They have all kinds of information. Simple Pin Podcast. So great. Seriously, you should be listening to that. I talk about it a lot, and that's because I love it. All right, so that is all I'm going to talk about Pinterest. And next week we'll talk about a different platform, and I'll just kind of give you some tips and ideas about how to use it. Other than that, if you guys are watching us live, make sure that you are liking and following our Facebook page. If you are on Facebook, you can definitely hop over and find us on some of our other platforms. We are on Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest, and our handle is @perfectlypastry. All right, so I will let you guys go. Make sure you hop on Instagram, follow us, help my sister out, because right now I'm whooping her butt. All right, you guys have a wonderful rest of the week, and I'll see you next week.